I think that everybody here can agree that we all want to try new things, we all want to adopt different technologies, but we're in an industry where timing's key and or there is no time. And let's face it, as we come into the end of the year, we're looking ahead and we're going, we have holidays coming, Thanksgiving, Christmas, end of year, then we have to push out all of our W-2s, we're in your payroll, then we're right into tax season, vacations, and we're back. So how do you prioritize your time in a way that frees up a moment for you to do the vetting process, to do the tests?
For me, I try to look at every year. It's a shame that every year is kind of the same, but you know, you're kind of done. But with tax season by February, March area, I try not to take on new clients that early part of the year. But I swear that's when they all call. It's like suddenly tax season is, oh my God, I have to file a return. I'm like, don't we all know this? But call me in like October. But so I try, and I'm very upfront with them. I'm not going to be able to actually work on your file until probably May or June, and that's my season for bringing on new clients. And then throughout the year, I try to figure out what are the things that I want to accomplish in my practices here. This year was I really needed to hire a person. I really need to hire another person, I should say, and I really needed to document my processes. And by the end of the year, I think I'm going to meet all of those big milestones. And at the end of the year, I try to also look at new apps that I can bring on board. One of them might be Practice Ignition, who knows?
I would say in terms of how I look at, for instance, taking on new clients, I do a month-to-month profit and loss and see where the growth patterns are. We can predict that, right? And then also when the new clients start coming in, and yes, I just take them because, okay, that's their timing, I know how that is. So there's that. So the waves of busyness have like a slight predictability, of course. But as far as new apps and so forth, what I try to do is an after hours app look. It's time to kick back, have a beer in the evening, and go to the app store and start just, getting in there and figuring out, could I possibly use these and not tend to get overly enthusiastic and like, oh yeah, let me use them all. This has nothing to do with me, but and there's my weakness. But maybe if I start a whole new file, I can use these apps because they're so good looking. So that's kind of my process.
Saturday night, right?
Yeah.
The bulk of our work is bookkeeping. We don't touch taxes really, so we really shoot to get all of our books closed by January 31st for all of our clients, and then shoot those off to the CPAs, and that usually leaves us a couple of months of relative silence before we start getting questions back from the CPAs and need to maybe make some adjustments. And in that time, I tend to take a step back and sort of look at the whole picture and see if there's anything new that we want to implement. Although I will say, coming to these sort of events always starts sparking the ideas. Like after Bjorn's presentation, I'm like questioning everything about my process, and like, oh man, I need to be jumping into Practice Manager because I've got spreadsheets that are like showing the scope creep and like of my clients, and there's all this stuff that I could be using maybe the project manager for to get that data. And so a little bit of it is basically sort of external inspiration. Things like this and these sort of talks really help me to get back into that big picture idea of the company. But the spring is when we have sort of the time to implement some of the new ideas that we've come across over the year.